Happy Friday, everyone. I hope you guys are doing great. I know I am. I am excited because it's the end of the semester. I finally get to sort of relax and take things easy, chill for a little bit and possibly go on into summer semester. But anywho, it's Friday, it's the weekend, and it's another day for another video. So like I always say, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Share my channel with your friends and family members. I know some people can use the content that I put out there, but yes, like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and go back and watch my last video if you have not done so already. All right, let's get into this. So we all have habits and things that we do that are not healthy. And when it goes unchecked, it festers into something that is not supposed to be. And, I have talked about things like your relationships, setting goals, treating yourself like you're supposed to be treating yourself, making time to rest, and all of that connects. Because if there's something or someone that is in your life that has a certain effect on you, it's an unhealthy habit or an unhealthy relationship. And when you don't let it get checked or it goes unchecked, it festers into something that is not supposed to be. And many of us have a lot of unhealthy habits. I, for one, can admit that I do. And, there was a time in my life where it just I don't want to say it took control, but it was just keeping me from being myself, if that makes sense. When these habits or these relationships or whatever it may be go unchecked, it takes hold of who you are. It takes a piece of you and it turns it into something that it's not supposed to be. You're supposed to be this big circle, but instead there's something that's in that circle that has gone unchecked. And when it goes unchecked, you allow it, you make room for it to grow, and then it slowly but surely takes over the entire circle. And I promise you, that was the case for me, because I was not as confident as I may seem right now a few years ago. I still second guess myself, but on a daily basis, I was second guessing every single thing that I did. I was second guessing what I would say, what I would do, how I would act, and then I essentially shrank myself into the corner because I was like, maybe I'm not supposed to do this, so let me just, dumb myself down. And yes, I dumbed myself down for people, if that makes sense. Because I was afraid of making a fool of myself, I dumbed myself down to seem a lot more like a person, if that makes sense. I wasn't being honest with who I was. I wasn't being myself. I wasn't being who I'm supposed to be. Most people who know me, the real me, know that I tend to be outspoken in certain situations. And people know what they can and can't say around me because of who I am and what I would do. Not saying that I would fight I would just be vocal about how I felt about this topic. And I am someone who cannot control her facial expressions. If something is bothering me, you will know. If something is not going the way how I expected it to go, you would know. Just one look on my face and you would know. And there was a point in time where I just wouldn't do that. Like, I had this unhealthy habit of doubting myself, just completely second guessing and doubting myself. And I let that go unchecked. And honestly, I feel like that's still a big part of my life, because along with, depression and anxiety, those going hand in hand, I essentially forced myself not to do anything because I was just second guessing everything. So I just wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't go anywhere. I wouldn't really be open to, as much as I wanted to, the way how I was acting just completely made me like shut down. So when I finally addressed that, hey, maybe you do have an issue, maybe you do have something going on with you that needs some attention, it allowed me to open up and do things like this, which I never thought I would want to do years later down the road. Like, I just never saw myself being someone who creates videos or someone who tries to encourage people or do anything, honestly. I just never saw myself as this person because I let a certain part of me take control of my mind and my thought process, and it just turned me into somebody who just wanted to stay in the corner. And that's not who I am. I don't want to say a bold personality, but I'm reserved in some cases, but my personality is not a small one, if that makes sense. It's a outspoken personality. And if I had let those habits remained unchecked, this YouTube channel would not be here at all. This YouTube channel would not exist. It would exist up here, possibly, but it wouldn't be what it is now. I wouldn't be doing videos. I wouldn't be talking to my family members about doing videos. I wouldn't have nothing at all. And yes, that's what we need to do. We need to check our unhealthy habits and address them and say, hey, you have a problem that needs to get checked. And if you don't let it get checked, it's going to take over your life and it's going to harm you and stop you from doing things that you are beyond capable of doing. Unhealthy habits and unhealthy relationships can destroy a person, can really, really and truly destroy a person. And that's not something you want for yourself or for anyone. Trust me, I don't want any of my friends to have any unhealthy relationships at all. I would rather see my friends happy and, not sad all the time, not always worrying or complaining about, what this person did to them or what's going on in their lives. And no, happy, healthy habits and relationships is what we want in this year. This year has already took its course, and we can't change anything about what has happened so far, but we can change our habits, we can change our relationships, we could just change the little things in our lives to make our lives a whole lot better and hopefully make this year better, because I am praying for an even better rest of 2021 than it has been so far, because this year has started off rough. And yeah, it makes 2020 look a lot more decent than it actually was. But yes, healthy habits is the way to go. When you address your unhealthy habits, you can start to put things in place to help you to correct those habits and make sure that you don't go down that path again. Yes, healthy habits is where we're at all 2021. Okay, happy, healthy habits and relationships is what we want. So, yes, again, I hope you guys had a wonderful week, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out. And you know,